Tom Sandoval spent the majority of Vanderpump Rules Season 10 covering up his affair with Raquel Leviss, all while spewing toxicity at Ariana Madix. Vanderpump Rules Season 10 star Tom Sandoval has spent most of his time this year covering up his affair with Raquel Leviss, and in doing so, has said some toxic things to now ex-friend Ariana Madix. Tom and Ariana spent nearly a decade together before the news of Sandoval broke, and they called it quits. They have always been portrayed as one of the more stable Vanderpump Rules relationships. While they've had their issues, they've always been able to work through them and communicate. But Vanderpump Rules Season 10 changed the game when it came to the couple and their communication style. Although Tom has always been stubborn during an argument, Ariana has almost always been able to get through to him and keep him calm. When the two are arguing with each other, things didn't always go as smoothly. As Vanderpump Rules Season 10 progressed, it became clear that despite the attempts to fix their issues, Tom was uninterested in continuing his relationship with Ariana, but wasn't brave enough to break things off. Instead, Tom spent the bulk of his time with Ariana on the series using toxic language when it came to his conversations with Ariana and prioritizing his fling with Raquel over his long-term relationship. Early on during Vanderpump Rules Season 10, Tom and Ariana were doing a lot more to try and make their relationship work despite the various issues they were facing. It's likely Tom had not yet engaged in his affair with Raquel until a little later in the season, especially when he was more vocal about fixing his relationship. During a talk with Ariana about the opening of Schwartz and Sandy's, Tom commented on repeated patterns that feel eerie knowing how the season played out for him. "It really sucks when you screw up on the same thing 3 times, Tom noted, lacking self-awareness. As Tom and Ariana found it harder to make time for one another, the moments they did spend together revolved around their relationship problems. One of the big issues Tom took with the relationship was that he felt Ariana was never in agreement with him, often playing devil's advocate in a way that frustrated him. When Tom shared this, he phrased it in a way that made things sound incredibly harsh. "It's tough sometimes to talk to you about things," Tom explained, adding, "because you never agree with me." Rather than allowing his thinking to be challenged, Tom was more interested in someone nodding along with his every word. While this may seem less toxic than other moments, the idea that Tom is looking for unconditional love from a partner is incredibly troubling. During a conversation with Ariana about creating embryos for the couple to freeze, a process that Tom looked into and never actually completed, Tom made it clear that he wasn't looking for a partner who challenged him or called him out on his bad behavior. Instead, he said, "I don't want someone to love me conditionally," and made it clear that Ariana poking holes in his logic or trying to present new ideas wasn't a quality he liked in his long-term partner. During a conversation with the larger group, Tom spoke candidly about why he felt the need to lie about Raquel sleeping over at his and Ariana's house. The justification itself was likely another lie, but to explain so directly that he thought people knowing Raquel slept over at their place would look bad makes it clear that Tom had something to hide. When explaining his lie, Tom said, "On the heels of the open relationship comments about me and Ariana, I thought it would be better to lie." In a tense moment between Ariana, Tom, and Lala Kent during a recent episode of Vanderpump Rules, Tom tried to explain his way out of another lie, this time one that Lala called him out for. When faced with the fact that he voluntarily decided to stay at a party instead of going home to Ariana after her grandmother had passed away, Tom found himself scrambling to find an excuse instead of just telling the truth. Tom fumbled in front of Ariana and explained, "Well, yeah, I kind of figured you wanted to be alone," even though she asked him to leave the party. Throughout the season, Tom spent most of his time with Ariana telling her how he thought she felt about him. Rather than taking her word for it or listening to how she was feeling, Tom decided the best way to explain his feelings was to try and push his analysis onto Ariana. At one point, the Vanderpump Rules star explained, "My very presence F***ing annoys you," while the couple were in the middle of an argument. While Ariana refuted this and came back with examples, Tom didn't seem to take anything she said to heart. In the same argument, Tom expressed that he didn't like how Ariana treated him in front of their friends. Though his feelings were valid, the examples provided of the behavior don't exactly make a case for Tom. Ariana has always been incredibly supportive of him and has done her best to stand up as his #1 fan. You snap at me and F***king belittle me in front of people, Tom shared, citing a moment when both were drinking and Ariana asked Tom to calm down. Rather than trying to look at his own actions, Tom pointed to places he felt Ariana lacked empathy. Ariana's biggest problem in her relationship with Tom throughout Vanderpump Rules has been him not having much time to spend with her one-on-one. After taking on even more by touring with his band along with his responsibilities at Schwartz and Sandy's, it became clear that Ariana just wanted to relax with her boyfriend. When she explained this, Tom countered with, "That is your definition of quality time, not the definition of quality time." Tom criticized that Ariana lacked excitement, which seems more important than Ariana wanting to spend time with him. In trying to defend himself from Ariana's criticism in a recent episode of Vanderpump Rules, Tom made it clear that he didn't understand her relationship with her friends while also clearly feeling guilty about his affair in some ways. While the two were discussing quality time, Tom was complaining that Ariana seemed to have the energy to do fun things with her friends. When Ariana mentioned they just watch Love Island together, Tom snapped, "I don't have time to watch 50 goddamn episodes of Love Island," and made it clear he was not interested in spending downtime with Ariana unless it was on his terms. While the sentiment may have been genuine, hearing Tom try to end his argument with Ariana by saying he loved her was chill-inducing. As the two wound down, reaching a stalemate on their issues, Tom did his best to make it clear he still felt affectionate toward his partner. "I love you," the Vanderpump Rules star said. "I want us to be better." Considering Tom was already having an affair with Raquel at the time, it's unlikely he was actually hoping to fix things with his long-term partner at all.